Today I want to share with you an article titled, "My husband was the 80th man I met through blind dates, but the doctor said he would only live for 5 more years." Before meeting my husband, Ho Liang, I was a firm believer in staying single. At 29, I graduated from a prestigious university with a master's degree and worked as a professional trainer in Urumqi, earning about $5,000 per month. I owned a house and a car, hired a housekeeper for chores, and occasionally cooked for fun. I was very satisfied with my life and never felt the need for a man to make it better. However, my mother didn't think the same way. She believed that the most important thing for a woman in life was to marry a good man. No matter how successful my career was, she thought my life was incomplete. Ironically, the reason I chose to remain single was because I never saw a happy marriage between her and my father. Besides, several of my friends were also determined to stay single. They were capable of supporting themselves and enjoyed their lives. To us, marriage seemed unnecessary. Choosing marriage, I thought, was like finding armor, but it turned out to be a vulnerability. This sentiment reflected my parents' marriage. They fought constantly but refused to divorce. My father was lazy and a heavy drinker in his youth. They spent most of the year arguing. Despite this, my mother never wanted a divorce, naively pinning her hopes on my father. I saw through it all and believed that women should rely on themselves, becoming their own queens without depending on others, especially men. This was my belief in practice. Yet my mother threatened to die if I didn't find a partner and get married. To appease her, I joined a dating website and started a long journey of blind dates. You might not believe it, but Ho Liang was the 80th man I met through blind dates. Before him, I had created a WeChat group for all my dates, noting their pros, cons, and quirks. During that period, I felt like an odd interviewer, meeting 5 or 6 men a week, sometimes more. The more men I met, the more disappointed I became with them as a species. One date, who claimed to be 30, looked 10 years older in person. Another date boasted about his properties and cars but hesitated to pay for a $35 coffee. These experiences made me more certain of the qualities I wanted in a partner. Initially, I was attracted to Ho Liang's looks. Unlike others who heavily edited their profiles, Ho Liang's was simple and genuine, with his only highlight being his energetic appearance. Ho Liang was straightforward, revealing that he had just obtained his degree through self-study and worked as a pharmaceutical representative with a modest income. He owned a house that belonged to his parents. He had no grand ambitions and lived in a different world from mine. If he had been my first date, I would have dismissed him immediately. But after 4 months of blind dates, my criteria shifted from financial stability to character. I didn't lack money and was drawn to his contentment and modest efforts. We quickly arranged a second date, though he was half an hour late. Initially annoyed, I softened when he explained he had helped an elderly woman who had fallen and later received a thank you call from her family. His kindness and sincerity won me over. Ho Liang also told me he smoked and asked if I minded. When I mentioned my sensitivity to smoke, he promised to quit, which he did, despite being a longtime smoker. As our relationship grew, I found myself falling for him, attracted by his appearance and character. Ho Liang fell for me at first sight, but worried about my spending habits and whether he could provide the life I wanted. Despite his concerns, he supported my choices and worked hard, even switching jobs to improve his earnings. To avoid unnecessary trouble, I downplayed our incomes to our families, emphasizing teamwork in managing our household. Living with Ho Liang, I realized his meticulous care allowed me to focus more on my work. He handled all household chores, cooked, and supported my career. Despite my independent nature, I found joy in his love and care. His actions showed deep love, not just empty promises. Our relationship flourished, built on mutual support and respect. After getting married in March 2020, I funded most of our new home and renovations. Ho Liang's parents contributed a small amount, but their gesture was more about their love and support. Ho Liang took charge of the renovations, transforming the house into our dream home. Despite earning less than me, he found fulfillment in taking care of me in our home. When I got pregnant, Hu Liang was a constant support, especially during a difficult first pregnancy that ended in a miscarriage. During my second pregnancy, he took time off to care for me, ensuring my well-being. His dedication extended to our daughter, born healthy, and he excelled as a new father, taking on most childcare responsibilities. Ho Liang's love and efforts made our marriage a source of strength and happiness for me. His humor and kindness turned our daily life into a joyful journey. He respected my career, never letting his lower income affect our relationship. Instead, he found ways to contribute and support our family, creating a balanced and loving partnership. Our life seemed perfect until tragedy struck. In December 2022, Hu Liang was diagnosed with a brain tumor, a glioma, after suddenly collapsing at work. The diagnosis was devastating, with doctors predicting a grim prognosis. Despite the fear and uncertainty, I stood by him, arranging the best possible care. Hao Liang underwent multiple surgeries, fighting bravely against the disease. His strength and love gave me hope, even as we faced an uncertain future together. Through it all, Hu Liang's love remained unwavering. He apologized for not earning enough, worrying about the costs of his treatment, but to me, his life was priceless. I was willing to spend everything for his health. His recovery was slow and challenging, but his spirit never wavered. Even in the face of adversity, he remained the kind and loving husband I had always known. Ho Liang's journey through illness taught me the true depth of love and partnership. Our bond grew stronger, rooted in mutual care and unwavering support. No matter what the future holds, I am grateful for every moment with him, knowing that our love will endure all challenges. Today's sharing ends here. Please leave your comments and all the best for both of them.